Now that we have a few fees on our permit, we're going to learn how to edit fees and how to invoice fees in different groups. Let's start by adding some additional fees to the fees that have already been added to this permit. I'm doing that by clicking on Add. I'm going to add additional fees, and I'm going to add a note for each of them. Notes are optional. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a dollar amount here of $130. In order for this example to be more realistic, I'm going to randomly add a few other fees to this permit. Remember, these are just samples of how to add fees. Don't get focused on the fact that these fees may not be applicable to this permit. Now that we've added these other fees, you'll notice that the ones that had been previously invoiced appear with an invoice number, which easily allows us to see which fees have not been invoiced. For example, once you're here, if you realize that this manual fee was $130, but it really should have been $150, the way you edit that is you click on the fee link. It'll take you to the field where you change it from 130 to 150 and click on submit. If, for example, the plan review residential minimum should have really been 2, then you click on it, go ahead and switch it to 2 and explain why, if you need to include a note on your fee. Click submit, and you can continue to do this back and forth to make sure that all of your fees are correct. Now, let's talk about how to invoice fees in different groups. This is a case that presents itself if the contractor wants the subcontractors to pay for their own fees, or for simpleness from the applicant's point of view, if they're specifically requesting some fees to be on one invoice and other fees to be on another. For the purpose of our example, we're going to say that the applicant asked for the first four fees, which are the plan review fees, to be included in one invoice. The way you do that is you actually pick the fees that are to be included in the same invoice and click on the invoice button. This creates the invoice for those fees. You'll notice it's invoice 1200199. Then you take the remaining fees and you invoice those. And you'll notice that those fees are now in invoice 1200200. That's how you edit fees and invoice fees in different groups.